here's another wee line for your column that I liked. Rangers, well, who knows what you're going to get with them from week to week. I was at Ibrox the other weekend and admitted they were well worth a win over Hearts. It felt like a huge moment for them. But for Danny Rowell to follow that up by scraping a draw in the dying seconds against a Livingston side sat at the bottom of the league, what does that say about them? Is it any wonder if even their own supporters aren't sure if they have a proper challenge in their hands or not? So while Celtic fans are opening fire on their own club, the Rangers supporters don't know if they can place their own trust in their own team. Yeah. I think it's a good point, and I think it speaks, Ryan, to the difference in the atmospheres. Hearts fans are flying right now, can't wait, week to week. They're just enjoying the ride. Exact same for Motherwell. They're turning up, they're loving watching this side, no matter how it all ends up. I don't know if they're really seriously contemplating a title. Hearts are. Motherwell are enjoying themselves. Rangers fans don't know if they can invest their trust in this team because there's been so many disappointments and so much scar tissue. And Celtic fans, as you said, it's this sort of constant wall of negativity.
Yeah, I think from the Rangers' point of view, since Danny Rowell came in, the job that he's done has been immense. But he's working with a lot of players that he never signed.
Yeah.
And I think previous to him coming in, there was so much negativity, animosity. There was a bit of frailty there. When you don't get a result or you aren't playing as well, it can easily creep back in. And I think that's what happened at the weekend. And I mean, listen, take your hats off to them. To find themselves 2-0 down at Livingston, I thought was incredible. But they somehow managed to find their way back into the game and take a point out of it. Now, it's disappointing, 100%. But I think there is that apprehension for the fans. I feel it, and I'm not even a Rangers fan. You just feel that apprehension at times.
Well, they started off against Livingston, and it was that sort of lethargic look. And I know that the stats say that they were battering them, and that there was 15 shots at goal, whatever it was in the first half. But they weren't playing. For me, when I was watching that, I'm thinking they're playing without real purpose, real aggression. They're waiting for somebody else to do something. I think they looked a little bit nervous to me, as if they were a wee bit unsure of themselves.
Yeah, and I think that's where that comes from. The apprehension as players. I don't know. I said that to you. Not a lot of them have been in title fights for Rangers. So the pressure that comes off the good performance against Hearts and the win against Hearts, it then goes into Livingston, and the fans turn up thinking
raises the expectation.
We're going to absolutely batter them here. This is how we're turning up to Livingston. I expect the players to come out and be the exact same as they were against Hearts, and they weren't.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing that worries me about Rangers as well, is the further that we go into the games that goes down to single figures, if they are, which they will be sniffing about Hearts, how do they handle that pressure that comes off the fans? Because it undoubtedly is a huge club. It's an institution. And then we flip it over onto the Celtic side, another worldwide institution. And mate, I cannot believe how toxic, how bad that full situation is.
Yeah.
Over there, it is just incredible to see. And even the great Martin O'Neill, to a sense now, is struggling to keep a handle on it.
Well, Ryan, I mean, the Stuttgart game was a real sore one. I think a pride swallowing one, because I think that was what he felt was his best 11 for that game.
Yeah.
And they get butchered.
Yeah.
They follow that up with a defeat at home at Hibs. They now go to Ibrox. They've got Stuttgart obviously tomorrow night in Germany, and then it's Ibrox. I don't know if you recover if that was 4 consecutive defeats or 4 games without a win. I think that's a critical kind of stall right in the middle of the season, isn't it? Or the crucial bit of the season.
So the be all and end all, and any Celtic fan that disagrees with us here is crazy. If they get beat at the weekend, they're done. They're out it for me.
Yeah.
Because I don't see, as we're talking about that connection between the fans and the players right now, because there's so much anxiety and so much bad sort of blood between the fans and the board just now. If they get beat at the weekend against Rangers, can you see that the fans trying to push them on again? I can't. I can just see there be more anger towards the board.
I think it's all over at that point.
Yeah, and I don't think and I don't mean this out of turn. I don't think the players that Celtic have just now are strong enough to deal with that. I genuinely don't. So I think if they don't manage to get something at Ibrox at the weekend, I think they'll be done.
Right. Okay. So the potential then does become this dream case scenario of the season's over, the dust settles, Hearts number 1, Motherwell number 2, and Rangers and Celtic fighting it out between them for 3rd and 4th. I mean, that would actually be the perfect end to the perfectly mad campaign that we've had, where nothing's made sense anymore.
Do you know what, mate? See, as somebody who I love Rangers and Celtic, the fact that the size of the clubs they are, that they're Scottish clubs, are an institution in our country. But see, just as a guy that doesn't support Rangers or Celtic, I would love to see that Hearts first, Motherwell second. I mean, it would be
astonishing.
It would be unbelievable for Scottish football, mate, if that was the case. And by the way, that genuinely could happen.
Aye, and people down south are paying attention to it.
Absolutely, mate. And I mean, that's the thing. It can only be good for the game, is the fact that the amount of people from down south that are, friends of mine that are messaging me every week. How crazy is your league? What about that result? What about this result? And let's be honest, for years and years and years, it's just been a one-horse race. So,
yeah,
long may it continue, mate. I think we have to enjoy it as much as we can, even the Rangers and Celtic fans to an extent, as much as they'll know because where they're sitting. But I think just as a nation, we have to enjoy it because it's been absolutely outstanding.
And then we've got a World Cup to come, but we'll talk about that another day.
And that's what I was literally just about to say. And then at the end of that, you've got a World Cup. So, I mean, it's just it's been an amazing season for Scottish football.
Keith, have you ever seen the film Cape Fear?
Yeah.
That's, I mean this with love and respect because I'm a bit scared of Ryan. He reminds
and so you should be.
He reminds me so much.
So you should be. So just be very careful with your next comment.
He reminds me of the very handsome Max Cady. And if you don't know who I'm talking about, look it up.
Listen, it wasn't so much that one. It was, remember, we got him on one night and he was in the back of his car, and it was dark. It was a dark winter's night, and the lighting wasn't particularly great.
Utterly
that
terrifying.
Gave me nightmares.
Aye, absolutely. A few people in the comments.
But I wonder what the guys out there are thinking in terms of nightmares. This sort of scenario that he's pointing towards there about Hearts first place, Motherwell second place.
Aye, imagine that.
Is it possible?
Well, look, I mean, personally, I don't think that'll happen, but it's more than possible. I mean, there's a lot of people in the comments now talking about Hearts injuries. Uncle Crowfeet says Devlin Shanklin's still missing. It makes me nervous. But McKenna, it says massive squad, ideal replacements. McCart will come in, not a problem.